Good morning to one and all. Today our topic is a continuation of levels of virtualization implementation. Before we discussing a need for OS level virtualization, first of all we have to learn virtual machine monitor design requirements and providers. Earlier days the hardware level virtualization inserts a layer between a real hardware and a traditional operating systems. So this layer is commonly called the virtual machine monitor, and now it manages the hardware resources of a computing system. So here the each time the programs access the hardware, the virtual machine monitor captures the process. Okay, in this sense the virtual machine monitor acts as a traditional operating system. So the one hardware component such as CPU, it can be virtualized as several virtual copies. Therefore we have seen the several traditional operating systems which are the same or different. It can sit on the same set of hardware simultaneously. Okay, now we have discussed here there are three requirements for a virtual machine monitor. First, we want to say a virtual machine monitor should provide an environment for programs which is essentially identical to the original mission. Okay, once again I repeat the first one. First, a virtual machine monitor should provide an environment for programs which is important identical to the original mission, and second, program runs in this environment should show at worst case only minor decreases in speed. Okay, and coming to the third requirement, a virtual machine monitor should be in complete control of the system resources. Okay, these are the main three requirements for a virtual machine monitor. Coming to, we have discussed the need for OS level virtualization. What is the need we have seen now? Okay, here full virtualization at the hardware level also has the disadvantages of slow performance and low density, and the need for para virtualization to modify the guest operating system. So to reduce the performance overhead of hardware level virtualization, even hardware modification is needed. The operating system virtualization or operating system image virtualization inserts a virtualization layer inside an operating system to partition a mission's physical resources. So it enables multiple isolated virtual missions within a single operating system kernel. Okay, this kind of virtual mission is oftenly called a virtual execution environment. We want to indicate this VE, and one more, virtual private system, in the sense VPS, or simply we can say container. Okay, what does exactly in the means need for operating system level virtualization? Exactly, it is slow to initialize a hardware level virtual machine because each virtual machine creates its own image from scratch. Okay, in a cloud computing environment, perhaps thousands of virtual machines need to be initialized simultaneously. So beside a slow operation and storing the virtual machine images also becomes an issue here. Okay, as a matter of fact, what I say in the sense, there is a considerable repeated content among virtual machine images. Okay, so moreover, we want to say the full virtualization at the hardware level also has the disadvantages of slow performance and low density, and the need for para virtualization. We want to modify the guest operating system. That is the meaning of need for operating system level virtualization. Here we want to reduce the performance also the overhead of the hardware level virtualization. Even we have seen the hardware notifications is needed the operating system level virtualization, it provides a feasible solution. Okay, it provides a feasible solution for these hardware level virtualization issues. Okay, we have seen one diagram here. This is nothing but comparison of 4 virtual machine monitor and hypervisor of software packages. Okay, here we have seen, look at this from the user's point of view. We can say it virtual engines, it's look virtual VE, in the sense what we want to say already, virtual execution environment. It's look like a real servers. Okay, a virtual execution environment, it has its own set of processes and file systems and user accounts and network interfaces with the IP addresses also it inbuilt, and routing tables, firewall rules and other personal settings we have to include here. And the main key point, the open virtualization layer inside the host operating system, which provides some operating system images, for example fork, to create virtual machines quickly. Okay, here what does the diagram explanation in the sense here, listen carefully. Operating system, the virtualization inserts a virtualization layer inside an operating system to partition a machine's physical resources. Okay, to enabling multiple isolated virtual machines within a single operating system kernel. So this kind of virtual machine is often called a virtual execution environment. Okay, and we want to say virtual private system, or simply we want to say container. Okay, from the user points of view, the virtual execution environment, it looks like real servers. Okay, this means a virtual execution environment has its own set of processes and file systems and user accounts and network interfaces with IP addresses. Okay, and we need routing tables, firewall rules and other personal settings. Okay, although virtual execution environments, it can be customized for different people. They share the same operating system kernel. Okay, therefore what we want to say in the sense, operating system level virtualization is also called single operating system image virtualization. Okay, we want to say single operating system image virtualization. Here the figure what we have to illustrate in the sense, it operating system virtualization from the point of view of a mission stack. Okay, this is the concept of need for operating system level virtualization. And coming to the advantages of operating system extensions. Okay, now we see we have to compare to hardware level virtualization. What are the benefits of operating system extensions? Are twofold. Okay, how many fold? Twofold. First one, at the virtual machines at the operating system level have minimal startup or shutdown costs and low resource requirements and high scalability. Okay, and the second one, for an operating system level virtual machine, it is possible for a virtual machine and its host environment to synchronize the state changes when we want that, when we necessary that. Okay, some of the benefits it can be achieved via two mechanisms of operating system level virtualizations. Okay, what are the two mechanisms, what are the two benefits it can be achieved in the sense? First one, all OS level virtual machines on the same physical machine, it shares a single operating system kernel. And the second one is virtualization layer, it can be designed in a way that allows processes in virtual machines to access as many resources of the host machine if it is possible, but never to modify them. Okay. For example, we have to say in cloud computing, the first and second benefits, it can be used to overcome the defects of slow initialization of virtual machines at the hardware level, and being unaware of the current application, we want to state it respectively. Okay. And coming to the disadvantages of operating system extensions, we want to see now the main disadvantages of operating system extensions is that all the virtual machines at operating system level on a single container, simply we want to say container, it must have the same kind of the guest operating system. That means what I say in the sense, although different operating system level virtual machines may have different operating system distributions, they must pertain, in the sense they must attain to the same operating system family. Okay, for example, if you have take a Windows distribution such as Windows XP, it cannot run on a Linux based container. However, the users of cloud computing have various preferences. So some prefer Windows and others we want to prefer Linux or other operating systems. Therefore, there is a challenge for operating system level virtualization in such cases. Okay. So we want to say the virtualization layer, it is inserted inside the operating system to partition the hardware resources for multiple virtual machines to run their applications in multiple virtual environments. Okay, we want to implement operating system level virtualization and isolated execution environments. It should be created based on a single operating system kernel. So the access required from a virtual machine, it need to be redirected to the virtual machine's local resource partition on the physical machine. Okay, furthermore we have to told that for example, the chroot command in a Unix system, it can create several virtual root directories within a host operating system. So these virtual root directories are the root directories of all virtual machines what we want to created. Okay. And coming to the there are two ways to implement virtual root directories. There are how many ways to implement virtual root directories? There are two ways to implement virtual root directories. The first one is duplicating common resources to each virtual machine partition. Okay. And coming to the second way to implement virtual root directory is to sharing most resources with the host environment and only creating a private resource copies on the virtual machine on demand. Okay, we want to share some most resources with the host environment and we want to only create some private resource copies on the virtual machine on demand. What we want to say exactly in the sense, the first way we want to say the significant resource costs and on a physical machine, the issue neutralizes the benefits of operating system level virtualization. It compared with the hardware assisted virtualization. Therefore, the operating system level virtualization is often a second choice. Okay. This is the diagrammatic representation of virtualization on Linux or Windows platform. How the physical server it will be, how the open virtualization templates, layers and the host and operating system and inbuilt the hardware, network storage devices. It looks like the diagrammatic representation. Okay. We have to explain virtualization on Linux or Windows platform. What does exactly in the sense? It was support for Linux and Windows NT platforms. Okay, in the sense, what exactly in the sense? By far most reported operating system level systems or Linux based virtualization support on the Windows based platform. It is still in the research stage. The Linux kernel offers an abstraction layer to allow software processes to work with and operate on resources without knowing the hardware details. And new hardware may need a new Linux kernel to support. Therefore, some different Linux platforms use patched kernels to provide special support for extended functionality. What in the sense we want to say here? Virtualization on Linux or Windows platform, what does it exactly says in the sense? We want to say most operating system level virtualization systems are Linux based. Virtualization support on the Windows based platform is still in the research stage. Okay, and coming to the Linux kernel, it offers an abstraction layer to allow the software processes what we want to work with and operate on that resources without knowing the hardware details. Okay, and we want to say here the new hardware may need a new Linux kernel to support it. Okay, therefore different Linux platforms use patched kernels. What kernels? Patched kernels, in the sense to provide the special support for extended functionality. Most Linux platforms are not tied to a special kernel. In such case, a host can run several virtual missions simultaneously on same hardware. Now coming to the tabular column here. Here some virtualization platforms are listed here. Linux versus server for Linux platforms, and open virtualization for Linux platforms, and further FVM in the sense featherweight virtual missions in the sense for virtualizing the Windows NT platforms. Okay, these are the brief introduction on what that functionality works and what that application platform will be. Okay. And last one, we have seen this middleware support for virtualization. What does exactly we want to say middleware support for virtualization concept? Okay, in the sense middleware support for virtualization, in the sense what does it exactly means? In the sense library level virtualization is also known as user level application. So binary interface or application programming interface emulations we have to use there. So this type of virtualization, it can create the execution environments for running programs on a platform, rather than we want to creating a virtual machine to run the entire operating system. So application programming interface called interception, and we want to remapping or the key functions, what does it performed. Now we want to see the overview of several library level virtualization systems, namely the Windows application binary interface, and one more name we have to say Linux run, and one more we have to say Wine, and one more we have to say Visual Main Win and VCUDA, which are summarized in the tabular column. What does the brief introduction and application platforms here in the sense? Coming to the Windows application binary interface, the middleware that converts Windows system calls running on program files x86 PCs to Solaris systems calls running on Spark workstations. And coming to the Linux run, in the sense the brief introduction here, a system call emulator that enables Linux applications written for x86, in the sense program files host to run on Unix systems such as the SCO Open server. And coming to the Wine, what does exactly, in the sense it is a library support system for virtualizing the program files x86 processors to run Windows applications under Linux and FreeBSD and Solaris. And coming to the visual main win, what does exactly, in the sense what it does, it means in the sense a compiler support system to develop the Windows applications by using Visual Studio to run on Solaris Linux and AIX host. Okay, and coming to the vCUDA, in the sense it is also one of the middleware or runtime library. What does the brief introduction here, in the sense virtualization, it supports for using general purpose GPUs, okay, to run data intensive applications. It is typically referred to as a big data under a special guest operating system, that is nothing but vCUDA. Okay ma, this topic will be end. Okay, thank you. Later we discuss the further topic, virtualization structures and memory IO devices and CPU processors. Okay, thank you. Later further video we have to discuss there.